Mike Pence appeared at a Republican gala in North Carolina to assure Republican primary voters that he's just not about punishing the LGBTQ community. He's also a white nationalist.
We'll give our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the support they need to accomplish their mission. We will end the political correctness in the hallways of the Pentagon, and North Carolina will once again be home to Fort Bragg.
Once again, be home to Fort Bragg. White nationalist, Christian, white nationalist. There's the salute, even though he never served in the military. That is white nationalist. Not just the homophobe, but the white nationalist, the white Christian nationalist, Mike Pence, one of the most dangerous people in America. Mike Pence is a sadist, and sadists tend to go after the most vulnerable in our community. That's why he targets the LGBTQ community. And he's a racist, pure and simple. So he wants to return Fort Bragg to its original name. This is a big issue in North Carolina. It's a dog whistle. If you're for changing Fort Bragg's name back to Fort Bragg, you're saying, I hate black people. And that's how you win votes in the Republican primary. Fort Bragg's name was officially changed on October 6, 2022, to Fort Liberty after a string of orders within the Pentagon under Joe Biden ruled that any military installation honoring Confederate generals must be called something else. Now, Fort Bragg, as I said, was named after Confederate General Braxton Bragg. During the Civil War, he fought for the South, and not well. He was defeated in the Battle of Chattanooga by General Ulysses S. Grant, and he is considered by most military experts to have been a horrible tactician, which explains why his soldiers tried to assassinate him, on two separate occasions. He is one of the reasons the South lost. Idiot. Hardly the person whose name should be attached to one of America's most important military installations. So why celebrate a loser? Why call it Fort Bragg? Racism and sadism to terrorize African Americans who live in North Carolina, to remind them they're outsiders. He also owned at least 100 slaves. He was an enemy combatant. He fought for the Confederacy. Naming the United States military installation Fort Bragg is tantamount to naming it Fort Goering. The military should not be naming places after our enemies. But Mike Pence and Ron DeSantis have nothing to offer voters other than cruelty, sadism. So they are making this the issue to run on in North Carolina. If you can't give voters good paying union jobs, health care, or a decent education, give them someone to hate. Give them sadism. Make black people feel uncomfortable. Mike Pence should be careful throwing his lot in with people who think the old Confederacy was about preserving a noble way of life. The Confederate flag seen here was carried into the Capitol on January 6 by the very same people who were looking for Mike Pence to hang him. Like I keep reminding you, and I'll be doing this till they change, the Republican Party doesn't believe in governing because that means making rich people pay taxes. So Republicans preach hatred and intolerance, and they create imaginary enemies to serve as scapegoats. There is nothing the Republicans offer that makes anyone's life better. What they offer instead is making someone else's life a lot worse.